Hi there, Leos, and welcome to your soulmate reading with me, Priscilla B. So, I'm gonna draw for you a fairy oracle card, love oracle card, and that's gonna just give me an overview of what kind of energies that I'm picking up on when it comes to your soulmate connection. Okay, so I have for you marriage, wedding bells are ringing, and third party. You may be dealing with a karmic situation. Okay, and I really do feel like you are someone who is married, Leo, and when you got married you were very excited to start this new journey. It's like, just everything you ever dreamed of since you were a little girl, pretty much, because you, I think, have been always a romantic at heart, Leo. But then comes in this third party energy, and I'm really getting a sense that like this other woman is like a mother or a mother-in-law. I'm picking up on like she could be your spouse's mother, and your mother-in-law. But either way, she's definitely like always like very judgy, and she's definitely always like in your business, okay, when it comes to your marriage. Um, so we have to like kind of cancel that out, all right? My high vibes heal the world. Okay. So, yeah, this is definitely like a vibe thing. You're trying to like live your best life. You're trying to um do what you need to do. But I think there's like a sacrifice here. Love may come with sacrifices. Evaluate what you're willing to give up. Yeah, this like, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie with Jane Fonda and Jennifer Lopez, Monster in Law, and it's about Jennifer Lopez's love interest. He has a mom who's very overbearing, and that's why the movie's called Monster in Law, because she's very over controlling, overbearing, and she really puts Jennifer Lopez's character through the ringer when it comes to making sure that like she's right for his son, for her son, I mean. And it's really funny, but like in real life, though, you don't really want to be dealing with that kind of situation where your mother in law is like pretty much attacking everything you do and being super judgy. But this is like the sacrifice, right? This is what you are, or are you willing to sacrifice in order for this marriage to work? Are you willing to put up with a monster in law type of energy? Okay. And then we have travel. Yeah. There, you definitely want to like go on a trip. Like, you definitely want to go on a voyage somewhere. I feel like it's more of like a spiritual, metaphorical thing. Like, you really want to venture out into like the unknown, even if it's just like um, doing small trips by yourself or trying out new things. Meditative stillness. Embrace stillness to cultivate serene mindfulness and deep presence. Serenity, mindfulness, presence. Self reflection. Reflect your actions and thoughts. Against to gain insight for personal growth, contemplation, self examination, insight, serenity, mindfulness, flow of life. Go with the flow of life, feeling the natural rhythms, inner smoothness, flow, nature, alignment. Okay, so you're really on a deep spiritual quest here to understand more about this. But I feel like there, even with that in mind, though, like there's nothing more to like figure out. You kind of already sacrificed a lot to be married to this person, because you knew it came with a lot of like hidden karmic lessons, like hidden karmic ties, hidden karmic situations, like a mother-in-law who's very I feel like she's almost like giving off like a jealous vibe. Okay, but that's like a very low vibrational energy. Embrace, remember your primordial nature. You are a vessel. You are a vessel. Yeah, I mean, this thing about being a vessel is really, it really it really gets down to what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. Stand up for yourself. Yeah, like you really have to, like, you can't let this other energy, this third party energy, get in the way of your relationship and your connection and your marriage. The tree, yeah, this monster-in-law energy is like very codependent. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Okay, so this third party is definitely very addicted to, you know, being codependent on your soulmate, on your spouse, on their happiness and like their energies, and wants to be like in their world, in the place where the wife, as you being the wife, right, or their soulmate, whatever label you want to put on it. Okay, stars, you can manifest your every wish. Wildflower, live an uncontrolled life free to grow anywhere and bound by nothing. Okay, so what this is telling me is that you can't really control what this third party does, but you can control what you do and who you let into your environment and who you let into your connection. So there definitely has to be some like new rules and boundaries with that. King of Wands, Queen of Swords. This looks like the Page of Pentacles. I think maybe Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's a little girl who's upset that the adults are kissing. This could be her mom and dad. This could be her dad kissing. If her mom passed away, it could be that. But it's like the person who's upset here is like, it's a third party. It's not like an actual child. It's like someone who's acting like a child, like causing chaos where chaos doesn't need to be. You have this man, he has like no shoes. He has a hole in his hat. He's playing music for money. So, someone who isn't very wealthy. King of Wands, like, got the rock star Freddie Mercury energy from Queen, but then you have a king if you look through the veil. Okay, so, and the Queen of Swords, she's not willing to put up with any BS. She's gonna call it like she sees it. The Queen and the King, like, they want to be together. They're calling out to each other. You and your person, that you want this to work out, but the thing is that that third party is kind of always there trying to like stir things up. Magician energy, Seven of Cups energy, and Ten of Pentacles energy. Yeah, this is definitely to do with like the subconscious, especially if you're dealing with your spouse's mother and they're like in your business all the time and they're trying to control every little thing. You got the Ten of Pentacles because they even try to sort of disrupt your stability on a very like deeply subconscious level, but also consciously too. That's why it's like Seven of Cups is you're trying to free yourself from these illusions that you know what the truth is already. You can already see clearly what's going on, what's happening, but you want to be free to express yourself and live your life the way you intend it without this third party's control and manipulation. The Magician, power, influence, great skill, and logic and creativity. Planet Mercury, communication, personal messages. Classical element air, the answer yes. Manipulation, greed, trickery, conniving, wasted resources. Okay, someone is trying to trying to waste your resources. Someone is just being very manipulative. Someone is being greedy. They're being very conniving. The beginning of the projects and creative endeavors. Cards that reduce to one are the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. Okay. And then you have Six of Cups, the mama bird feeding her baby birds. It's like, your soulmate isn't a baby anymore, but yet they're still going to mama, right? They're still going to mommy for help instead of helping you or you helping them and you being a team together. And that's why the Magician energy is so powerful here, because you want your soulmate to not be like such a mama's boy, and you want them to like show up and like see that like, okay, you've flown the nest already. Now it's time to, be that, provider and like work with you as a provider, work with you through your marriage and keeping things legit, but keeping things tight here. But there's always that, someone here who's like a third party who's constantly like in denial, like their role is not telling your soulmate what to do anymore. Their role is not, controlling your soulmate. It's like that ship has sailed, right? The marriage has already happened. The wedding bells have already rung, but someone's not listening. Someone didn't hear those bells ringing, right? The devil and the fool, yeah. Okay, someone is still holding on to like these toxic karmic connections, and they're not learning the lesson the first time around. So then you see them like going on this spiritual journey again. You're observing it, you're watching it, and then just like the same thing cycle keeps happening over and over again. And someone has to break that cycle. Someone has to break that karmic cycle. And your wishes here, your star wish here is that, that cycle ends, that cycle breaks. Okay, like someone restarted it. Actually, I think a lot of people, honestly, contribute to the start of that cycle, but clarity, truth, intentions, and honesty, capturing pictures, capturing evidence, like, I know, right? It's like, who wants to use a camera for that, right? Who wants to use a camera to be like, collecting evidence on someone who's like, trying to create disharmony and discontent into your love connection. But yeah, here we are. Like, you're playing with fire a little bit here. Okay. Like, I think Leo, you've got that 7 of Cups energy again here. Yeah. So again, 7 of Cups. Okay. So you're seeing a lot of, synchronicity here, because what you're experiencing is someone who is still holding on to toxic ties, and it's like, do you really want your soulmate to be chained to benefiting off of keeping a situation like unfolding like karmically with this? It's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that need to like transpire in order for the connection to no longer include this third party in the connection. Obscurity, secrets, mysteries, and concealing. Yeah, there's a lot of obscurity happening. That's why you're getting this camera, because you want to get clarity here. You're like, I've had enough of the lies and the deceit, and the 7 of Cups is really kind of removing those obstacles for you. It's removing those illusions. It's seeing things clearly as they are. King of Cups and Queen of Wands. Another pair up. So you want your marriage with this person to work. You've got the Queen of Swords, who speaks the truth and doesn't hold back on that. And then you have the King of Wands, who accepts and embraces that knowledge and those messages. And then you have the King of Cups, who brings in your emotional insight, and the Queen of Wands that brings in, again, those... the Queen of Wands really brings in like more of like a passionate side, but it's coming from a place of truth and understanding. But there's this like third party again that wants to sort of get involved in the energy, in the connection. And so you are basically like, well, you can't, a marriage is just 2 people, right? It's not 3. So that's why you have that problem, like you're experiencing it with that. But not to worry, we've got the new moon, manifest your desires, timing, 1 month or next new moon, a change in direction, set your intentions, new cycle begins, don't give up, and germination. Okay, so don't give up that this connection can't work, like because of the third party. It can work, but sometimes when that third party just all of a sudden decides to get involved, then things seem impossible. They seem, and it's only the start of the year. It's only the start of 2026. It's like literally February. And with Valentine's Day, you want to feel love, you want to feel appreciation, and you want to feel respect. But it is a little bit harder to feel that way when you're experiencing, a very delusional person trying to interfere, with your connection. And yeah, in a movie sense, if you're watching Monster-in-Law, it's very funny, it's very comical, you're rooting for Jennifer Lopez's character the whole time, and then you end up finding out that through not holding back and through actually fighting for her connection and not giving up on her connection, the mother-in-law starts to gain more respect for her and say, well, if you can put up with me, then you can put up with anything. And, my son needs someone who's willing to go to fight for him and fight for wanting a place in his life. And it's not really fair or just, but what Monster-in-Law really is fair and just, I'm sure, they all have their reasons, as toxic and unjustifiable as they are. Full moon, illuminated subconscious, timing, 1 month or next full moon, emotional awareness, climax, move on, cycle completion. Okay, honor your uniqueness. Okay, the fates and the 9 of cups and the villain. You can always rewrite the story. Yeah. Okay. So as much as this third party wants to paint you as the villain, okay, you already know your truth. Okay. You already can see clearly. You don't need anybody's illusions to interfere with what reality actually is for you. Okay. And the fates and the 9 of cups, you already know that you can get through this. You already know that you can emotionally support yourself, and you're not afraid to do that. You're not afraid to stand up for yourself and your feelings and have your voice heard. And the fates have decided anyway. Really, ultimately, like, you can't really interfere with that at that point. If your soulmate chose you, they chose you for a reason. And when they position you in a place where you're up against a very, overbearing, over-controlling, toxic energy that just happens to be their mom, what are you really going to do with that? You kind of have to be like, you know what, that's not okay. And you have to be the truth person. You have to, you have to show clarity. You have to remove the illusion. And you have to, like, this is reality, and we're all going to live in reality. And if we're not living in reality, then I don't know, what are we really doing here? Okay? So Ace of Cups, okay? This new, meditative stillness that you're doing, this new self-reflection that you're doing, this new flow of life that you're doing. This is going to bring in peace in your life and hope in your life and love in your life and in your connection. And take the high road, with grace. It says, maintain strong boundaries while being gracious. A difficult person or situation in your life requires your dispassionate detachment. Take the high road. Might be the kindest option for yourself. Avoid unnecessary drama. Don't tolerate disrespectful or mean-spirited behavior. Yet show others the grace you'd expect. Connect with your higher values, speaking and acting with higher wisdom. Okay? From that, with higher wisdom. Okay? So that's what you're doing, Leo. And, you're taking that trip. You're going on that journey. You might have your soulmate going on a completely different journey and taking a totally different approach to soulmate connections and marriage and love and all of that and romance and all that. But let them do that. If that's what works for them, fine. But really what needs to happen is, like, you have to detach from people who are misbehaving. You have to detach from, unnecessary drama. And you need to, you say something, you don't tolerate the disrespectful or mean-spirited behavior. And you have to call it out when you see it too. You have to be like, this is disrespectful, this is rude, this is mean, and this is against everything I believe in and stand for. And let the chips fall where they fall. Let the cards fall where they fall. I don't know the saying. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Leos. Okay. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching. All right. Take care now. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.